Merry Meet. I am motivated to make this video because of the years of comments that I've heard about Halloween. It has bothered me greatly on how Christians have voiced and acted to outlaw Halloween because they consider it to be a devil's holiday. As a pagan and a freethinker, I feel that it is my obligation to speak out and educate people on this subject. First off, let's define what is commonly believed by many Christians as Halloween. On October 31st, people celebrate a holiday that honors death and destruction. Devil worshippers go out and commit abominations against God. Halloween is used to sway kids away from God by bribing them with candy and implanting foul thoughts in their heads. This day is based on paganistic beliefs and thus satanic. But what if I told you that only the time of the year this occurs is the only fundamental connection with paganism? That Halloween is a Christian holiday created by the church to stop a pagan holiday. Could you see the troubles Christianity would have with this holiday? First thing to talk about is the name. Halloween is not Celtic in any way. The name is derived from All Hallows Eve, the name given for October 31st by the Pope in 731. It was shortened by the Irish and became Halloween. The pagan name is Samhain. They are not close in any way. Christians have Halloween, pagans have Samhain. Samhain was the end of the summer and of the Celtic year. They used the day to plan for winter, evaluating the livestock and food stocks. The Celts used it to reflect on the year that's passed and honor the dead. They believed that the barrier between the spirit world and the mundane world was at its thinnest. So this was the time where they could communicate with spirits and the spirits could roam the world. This celebration lasted 3 days. And yes, this was the end of the year, but it was also the beginning of a new year. This was the last of the fire Sabbaths, so the Celts lit many bonfires. Any livestock that was deemed too weak to survive the winter was killed during this time to save grain for the stronger animals. Thus, large fall banquets were common during Samhain. Plates of food were set at the doors and candles lit in the windows to feed and guide the spirits that came to visit the mundane world. This spiritual aspect is of the Celts honoring the dead. The Christian Church did its best to stomp out Samhain. In response, Pope Gregory III in 731 blessed St. Peter's Basilica on November 1st. He decreed November 1st All Saints' Day. In 835, Pope Gregory IV extended the celebration for all the martyrs on November 1st to include all the churches. The Christian establishment successfully co-opted the Samhain celebration by shifting the emphasis. When November 1st became the new date for the Feast of All Saints, the pagan Celtic Samhain became merely Hallows Eve. It turned into a vigil of preparation for the morrow, which was made a day of obligation, when Christians were obliged to attend Mass. Even later, in the 11th century, the Church would make November 2nd All Souls' Day, a day to honor all dead. Catholic doctrine most clearly reveals connection between the two worlds, that the souls of the people in purgatory can be held with the prayers and sacrifice of the Mass, turning this into a 3-day event to honor the dead. Thus, the Catholic Church created Halloween in a political religious action to help eliminate pagan beliefs. by adapting Celtic traditions and decreeing them Christian. The Catholic Church gained control over many Celtic pagan Sabbaths and people. So why the fuss? Because the factions in the Christian religion began to fight each other. Anything that was Roman Catholic was considered evil by the Protestant groups. The Puritans in England tried to suppress Christmas and Halloween. They made them illegal in America while they were in power. Thanks to 19th century Irish Catholic immigrants, Halloween was revived in America. The new backlash against Halloween by non-Catholic Christians began in the 1980s, in part because of claims that Halloween was the devil's night, because of urban legends about poisons and razor blades in Halloween candy, and in part because of an explicit opposition to Catholicism. Jack Chick, a rabidly anti-Catholic fundamentalist who distributes Bible tracts in the form of small comic books, helped lead the charge. Media attention picked any juvenile crime during this time period as Halloween pranks. Devil's Night in Detroit has also been forever linked to Halloween as well. The interesting fact is, most of the people that do these crimes were in fact Christian. Thus, many Christian groups have classified Halloween as a dark and evil event. They decided to create alternative events for Halloween. Ironically, one of the most popular Christian alternatives to celebrate Halloween is a secular harvest festival, which has more in common with Celtic Samhain than it does with the Catholic All Saints' Day. Another Catholic alternative is an All Saints party, usually held on Halloween and featuring costumes and candy. This is an attempt to Christianize an already Christian holiday. While the attack is on the Catholic Church's actions, they are throwing paganism and Celtic traditions into the fire to aid in their attacks. Many Christian groups will talk about the heavy pagan influences in the Roman Catholic Church, but fail to know that it is the source of their religion as well. Martin Luther was a Catholic that left the Roman Catholic Church and started his own version of Christianity. The term Protestant comes from protest against. These people protested against the Roman Catholic Church and formed their own version of Christianity. The Roman Catholic Church was the source of the Bible as well. They assembled the Bible at the Council of Nicaea in 325. All Bibles used today by Protestant churches are based off of the Roman Catholic Bible. Remember I stated that the Puritans outlawed Christmas and Halloween in the United States? See, the Puritans seen the pagan influences in both Catholic holidays. And what is the best way to fight a religion? Proclaim it to be the work of Satan. So the pagan influences were called satanic, and from that point on, all pagans were considered devil worshippers. I would like to note, Satan is a Christian concept. Pagans do not have a Satan concept. Pagans honor the nature of the world and not some evil demigod. Bobbing for apples is a pagan tradition. Panoma is a pagan fruit goddess. She is represented by an apple. The ancient Romans brought that tradition to the Celts when they conquered the Celts. They honored the harvest of fruits and nuts with a celebration to Panoma. Some scholars claim that the statement, "the fruit of evil that Adam and Eve ate was an apple," to be an attack on this holiday and tradition. Now that you have learned what I've been researching about Samhain, you'll know that Samhain and Halloween are two separate events. The Catholic Church adapted Celtic ways and called them Christian. When the Reformation came, anything Catholic was considered wrong, and a series of dark claims were thrown at the Catholic holiday and falsely connected to the Celtic pagan ways from which they were based on. Protestants and Catholics need to stop their petty feud that has been going on for over 1,000 years. They need to learn about their history of their own religion. And most of all, they need to keep everyone else out of their feud. So if you want to try to outlaw Halloween, that's fine. Just remember that you're only going after a Catholic holiday. Samhain is the Celtic pagan Sabbath, and we just want to honor our ways in peace. Thank you.